A great big spicy hello to all my favorite listeners out there. This is Diana Price, and you are listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio Network right here on rmconair.com. We're here every Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30, so we hope you join us. Every week, we have conversations about business growth, about business opportunities, about leadership, about employee engagement, entitlement, how to grow your business. Internet marketing. We talk about blogging, anything that you need to grow your business. We are on it right here at Diana's Spicy Business Talk. So great to have you today. Just awesome to have my new listeners and my old listeners. It's so great to be here today. And we have an amazing guy that you are just going to love to hear today. So we're going to get started because we have so much to talk to him about. Our topic is the traits of super achievers, and we've got a super achiever that is over the top with us. His name is Mike Grady. And before I get into Mike's bio, I'm going to give you some details about his bio. Just want you to know how you can reach us. If you want to follow along, you can go to www. You probably already are there, rmconair.com. If you want to give us a call so you can interact with Mike and interact with me and ask any questions about business, we welcome that. And the phone number is area code 323-965-1600. So if you'd like to do that, if you'd like to type in send us an email, you can send us an email. Actually, you should just go right on the site and do that. Okay? So here we go. Mike, it's so great to have you here. Mike Grady is here. So Mike has been in the network marketing industry since 2008. When I met Mike, I thought, oh my God, this guy knows everything in the world. How could people know that? So originally from Albany, New York, Grady joined the Air Force in 2001, serving 6 years, including tours of Afghanistan and Iraq. Oh my God, Mike, I didn't know that. He excelled in every aspect and was even named Airman of the Year in 2003. After moving to Tampa, Florida to finish his enlistment in the military, Mike Grady became involved in real estate industry, flipping houses. Oh my God, do we all know what happened to the real estate industry? Upon realizing the secret of residual income and where the economy was headed, he transitioned from real estate to the home-based business industry to fully maximize his potential. And not only fully maximize, he is amazing in this industry. So with successes, he all came to the desire to share his knowledge with others. That's how I met him. And what a pleasure it is to have him in my business community. It's awesome. So he's been effectively building new companies and mentoring clients like me. Of course, I know a lot now, but before Mike, it was like, oh my God. So how to prosper in network marketing. So Mike, are you with us?
I am, Diana, and thank you for that warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be with you.
It is a pleasure to have you. Absolutely. So, network marketing has been your background for a long time. Yeah?
Yeah, and just like the bio said, the reason I kind of went to network marketing was the idea of residual income. I've always been a fan of that, but the problem was when I was flipping real estate, that wasn't residual. You'd make large sums of money, and in the case of me, I actually was losing large sums of money. I lost about $50,000 on the first house that I ever flipped, and that hit me pretty hard. So I kind of out of necessity went into network marketing and actually was able to leverage the internet because I just needed the time freedom for myself. I wasn't really keen to working 12 to 18 hours days. I was used to that in the Air Force, being overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, and over during a deployment that lasted over a year. I mean, we worked every single day. There was no day off. There was no leisure, and I just kind of honestly just got tired of it. And I would see other people who would make their living working 4 or 5 hours a week, making $50,000 to $100,000 a month, and I said, that's where I want to be. Exactly. So I dedicated my life to figuring out how to do that. And the best tip I can give people on how to do that, just starting out, not even knowing how to, is to network and get around people that have the information that you want, so you can surround yourself with them, and then you can kind of not necessarily be them, but understand what they understand.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, I would like you to say that again, because that is exactly how I found you. So, it is so important. Say that one more time. I want that to be highlighted. I want everybody to hear that.
Absolutely. If you want to be, for example, if you're looking to be a professional baseball player, it's probably not a good idea to go and be mentored by Tiger Woods on how to be a professional baseball player.
Exactly.
So that's the very basic of it. Surround yourself with people who are good at what you want to be good at. Learn from them, ask them questions, take notes, review things over and over and over and over and over again until you get it, and you'll get it.
And it's not rocket science. I got to tell you, when I first started in internet marketing, which I'm still a baby compared to you. How long have you been in internet marketing and network marketing? You said since, what did you say, 2008?
2008, so we're going on about 5 years now.
Okay. So me, it's been, probably in the range of less than a year. But it has been very gratifying. I've been very in my own right, I've been successful in the things that I've been doing. So for sure, but before our listeners, a lot of us know exactly what internet marketing is, what it entails, but give us a definition of internet marketing from your standpoint, and what it's all about. How would you define internet marketing? And also talk a little bit about the power of internet marketing.
Okay, absolutely. To me, internet marketing is about driving traffic to a product or service that you're passionate about and wanting to sell that product or service. And the internet is the most powerful marketing machine that's ever existed on the planet. For example, before the internet existed, network marketing existed. So internet marketing is kind of just like network marketing. In network marketing, all you're doing is you're establishing a network of people to buy and sell products. All right, they're either buying it for themselves, personal consumption, or they're retailing it.
Sure.
So strategies, let's say back in the 70s or 80s, would be, go to different stores and network with people, go to different hotel meetings, maybe go around and pass out 1,000 flyers every single day and things like that. Well, let's look at internet marketing. Instead of handing out 1,000 flyers, you can buy a solo ad for 1,000 clicks, which varies in price, and you can just Google solo ad providers and do a little research, and you'll be able to find out good solo ad providers, build relationships with them. But the point is that 1,000 clicks can
we lost him. Did we just lose him? Mike, you're talking about 1,000 clicks. I think we lost you.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
No, I lost him. I was trying to call him back.
We lost the audio. Okay, so as we wait for our connection to be reestablished with Mike Grady, what a great comparison he's doing. When you are marketing a brick and mortar business, you got to do flyers, you got to spend money, you have to, get the flyers prepared, and it's all the same. You have to market your business, whether it's going to be paid marketing or free whatever you do, you have to market your business. So with internet marketing, Mike is talking about solo ads. He's talking about what to do and how to do the same thing to get people to notice your business. So solo ads, that, like you said, you can go and kind of Google solo ads, but it's so cool because you can go to you can hit 5,000 people in clicks, and you can see the difference in how all of a sudden you start capturing more leads in your back office. Because I'm a living witness. As I said, I've only been in internet marketing less than a year, and it has been an amazing experience for me. And one of the things that Mike has, do we have Mike back? No? Okay. One of the things that we have, one of the things that Mike has always told me is that you have to learn your craft, and you have to learn it like nobody else's business. And then once you learn it, you have to teach it, and then you have to take action and make it happen. So Mike is absolutely the best person that we could ever have to talk to us about internet marketing. But we're going to take a short break, and we will be back, and we'll see if we can reestablish the connection with Mike Grady. This is Diana, and you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Diana, and you're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio Network. And one of my awesome friends that knows so much about internet marketing, she's here with us to talk with Mike Grady. And Mike, I hope we have you back, but let's just say hello to Tina. Michelle, we love Tina. We love Tina. Hi, Tina.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
It's very rare that I get to be here on a Tuesday with
Yes,
you, so
I
this is
know.
very exciting, very exciting.
Because Tina's show is Wednesday through Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right
And actually,
here.
we're starting a nutrition spot tomorrow with Priscilla. And so it's going to be exciting at
Cool.
2:30. So
Nice.
RMC On Air is doing the thing.
Wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. So, Tina, we're going to be talking to Mike. Mike, are you back?
I am back. Sorry about that. Where did you lose me? I was ranting and raving, and all of a sudden I looked down and I lost connection.
We were talking about the solo ads. That's where we lost you. You were comparing, you have to market your own business, and when you do internet marketing and network marketing, and all of a sudden solo ads, you get more clicks. So continue.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So when you're doing your marketing, obviously a solo ad can really represent a lot of leverage nowadays, as opposed to doing this back in like the 70s or 80s, where you'd have to go hand out 1,000 flyers and that would take you 8 hours. Well, now you can put a little bit of money down, get a solo ad, then do what you want, because with the internet, there's a lot of leverage, and when you use a lot of leverage and systems, you create time. All right, because that's what the internet to me really provides the most of. It does generate a ton of money, but what money does is just allow me to do whatever I want to do with whoever I want to do it with, whenever I want to do it.
Yeah.
So if I want to travel somewhere tomorrow, I can go do that. If I want to go play 18 holes of golf after we get done with this interview, I can go do that. If we want to go lay by the pool, we can do that. It's basically just living the dream, living the lifestyle that you want to live without any repercussions, without any consequences, and just living.
Yeah.
Just living life. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Well, you're talking about what you can do because of your success in internet marketing. So what are some of the traits? What are some of the things? What is your vision? What are some of the things that super achievers do consistently to get to your level, to get to your status?
That's a great question, and I can answer that simply. And Art Williams is a guy that I've looked up to ever since I started learning internet marketing and network marketing, because personal development is a big part of successful people, not just internet marketers, but just successful people in general. Whether they're a successful doctor, successful lawyer, they're successful entrepreneur, they own, an ice cream stand, whatever it is. There's common traits in success, and one of them is that, and it's very simple. They do a little bit more. Okay? They do a little bit more than everybody else. It's not even about, you can put 18, 20 hours a day right when you're starting your business, and that's a good idea to do that. A plane needs a lot of juice to first get off the ground, but then when it's up there, you can kind of pull the throttle back a little bit and coast, right? So, but just doing a little bit more and having the discipline to tell yourself, you need to be doing a little bit more, and not kind of BSing yourself into believing that you're doing a lot, even though you're not, and you're just sitting there staring at the computer screen, just reading the Facebook news feed, not doing nothing. Some people will actually equate that to work, but work in internet marketing and in business in general is all about income-producing activities. If your activity is not conducive to something that's going to produce income, you're not going to make money. You might make yourself feel better for a little bit, but at the end of the month, your bank statement is going to reflect the work that you put in the previous month.
Yeah, that's the fiscal forensics of success.
That's a good one,
Numbers
Tina.
don't lie.
They don't. They absolutely don't. What's your inspiration, Mike? What's your inspiration? What makes you get up every day and work smart? Because I know you work hard, but I'm sure you are just brilliant the way you're, because I see you online all the time. Tina's online a lot too. So what's your inspiration?
My inspiration is just getting the most out of life that I possibly can get while I'm here. A lot of people that live life, I read something on Facebook, I'm not going to quote it exactly because I forget a lot of things, but it said that a lot of people die in their 20s or something like that. In other words, people will live until they're 80, but people actually stop living, before they actually die.
I get that.
And I don't want to be like that, So my inspiration is to keep doing what I can do 100%, to be all in all the time with everything that I'm doing and do the best I can possibly be. When I was in the Air Force, there's 3 core commitments in the Air Force, or core values they call them. And it's integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And I agree with that, because if you use those 3, you'll never go wrong.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have integrity. You're not going to be lying and trying to scheme and try to scam people, right? You're going to be doing things in the best way that you possibly can be, and you're going to put your service and what your goals are before your own personal self. In other words, when people come onto my team, it is my goal to get them financially free.
Good.
You know, I have a guy, a buddy of mine, Adam Knackers. He's a great guy. I've actually become real good friends with him. I've known him for a couple of years now. I've actually put him under my wing. He's been building businesses with me for a couple of years now, and him and his wife are actually moving to Costa Rica in a couple of months because they've set themselves free from the corporate 9-to-5 grind, and now they're moving to Costa Rica to fulfill their dreams, and they're just having a blast doing it. And that's why I really do it, to see other people succeed, because it's not, I mean, if I can succeed by myself, I mean, so what? I want more rich friends. My buddy Dave Wood says that a lot, and I agree with him a lot. I want more rich friends. I want more people that are making 50 grand a month so we can go do things together. I mean, it's not fun if I'm just making all the money. I want other people to make it.
That's right. Tell us about your team real quick. Tell us about your Empower Network team and what that's all about, and what's because we're all on the same team. We're on the Empower Network team. I told Tina about it. She was interested as well. But tell us a little bit about the Empower Network. And so was Mark. Mark is our engineer here. He was like, oh yeah, you're right. But tell us about Empower Network.
Yeah, Empower Network is great. The team I'm on specifically is called the Prosperity Team, and I'm in the leaders group over there. And what we've done is we've been able to kind of create a system within a system. I don't know what teams everybody else is on, but I can just say that we have something that's called the IPAS system that we use for people who are all in, who have purchased all the products, and who have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're not going anywhere. And the IPAS system is not for quitters. That's why it was designed. And it helps people. And IPAS stands for Internet Prospecting Acceleration System. And we sell IPAS kits for $10. It's an offline marketing strategy that we use. We market the kits, and in the kits it's got great information. It's got DVDs, it's got brochures, it's got a couple little magazines with some little overview of Chris Jones and Chris Campbell, the guys that actually started the IPAS system. They're the leaders of our team, and we've just noticed conversions really going through the roof with it. We get a personal business assistant that comes attached to the IPAS system when you're all in. And basically what that means, when you sign someone up, typically, let's say this didn't exist, when you sign somebody up, it's a good idea to give them a call, establish a relationship with them, because when you do that, now they're probably going to buy more products from you, and as a result, you're going to make more money. So that's the system. Well, in the IPAS system, we have a personal business assistant that contacts all of the signups, and these are professionally trained salespeople with master's degrees and PhDs, and they build and establish relationships with people while you're out driving more traffic. Remember I was saying earlier about the leverage of the internet? Well, this is just another example of leverage, because now I can just concentrate on driving traffic to a website and not necessarily worry about all the back-end work that needs to be done. So our system takes care of that. And, you know, when you're making 100% commissions in Empower Network, it definitely affords you, you know, the things that you need to put the different puzzles into place. You know, if you're only making 10 or 20% commissions, you're selling $100 worth of product. Maybe you're making only $10, $20 for every 100 you're selling. Well, in Empower, every 100 you're selling, you're making 100. So you have more money to use, and that's important to understand too, because money, it takes money to make money. You know, that's an old adage. It's nothing new. Everybody should understand that. So, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Money to me shouldn't be sitting in an account doing nothing. It should be used. It should be either buying more marketing, or it should be buying some real estate, or maybe you're buying gold and silver, or you're doing something. You're accumulating assets. You know, one of my favorite speakers is Robert Kiwasaki, and he talks about assets and liabilities. It's a very simple, very fundamental thing to talk about, and it's just what are you purchasing? Are you purchasing things that are going to make you money, or are you going to purchase things that are going to take away money from you? So the system we're using in Empower Network's obviously just generating more money as we generate more traffic for it. And it's just great. I love it.
Tina, have you heard a little bit more about Empower Network since we last spoke?
No.
Okay. So,
and it's funny because I'm listening, and it's just sort of, you know, working more in traditional broadcasts and now. But I started out in internet marketing, and I started out in multi-level marketing. I was a trainer for thousands of reps.
See,
I taught the 2-up system. I taught lead gen, lead capture. I taught quick conversion.
So you know
how to qualify a lead fast, so you're not dealing with tire kickers. Get the fast no, right?
Yeah,
and then the really long no. So that's what got me into coaching. It was the psychometrics of success, understanding. I was listening to one of my mentors, this is many years ago, and he was saying, well, we can't make everybody succeed. It's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
And I remember agreeing with that to a point. Then I said, why not?
So you challenged
Why
it.
not?
Yeah.
And I became a coach because I realized that's human technology. No one wakes up and says, I want to be a loser.
Right.
I want to be a drug dealer and a prostitute,
Exactly.
and I want to have the worst life I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
There's something that occurs in the technology. There's a technology breakdown. I call it the virus.
I get
so if
that.
you can extract the virus, then you shifted the mind, and the mind expanded.
I
can
love
never
it.
return to the
I
same
love
size.
that. What do you think about that, Mike?
That's 100% spot on.
Spot
People are
on.
their worst. People are their worst enemies. I'll be the first one to tell you that too.
And the difference
people
was
are their worst
recruiting.
enemies. They stand in their own way all the time. And if you can, the best thing you can do is empower someone and kind of. I mean, I'm not telling everybody to smack someone upside the head, but virtually do that and shake them up a little bit, because when that happens, if you were to walk up someone and smack them in the head, they'd be thrown off for a little bit.
That was
and that's
one
what
of
you're
my
doing
advertisements
when you're empowering people to wake up, is you're actually virtually hitting them over the head saying, you are capable of doing what you think you can't do, and I'm shaking you right now trying to get you to understand that.
One of my advertisements that I had for lead generation a long time ago, it wasn't just get into this business and do this. You know what I would do? I had an audio, and then I would go, I want to use you. I want to use every minute of your time. I want to use your mother. I want to use your dog and your children. I want to use all your money, your resources. I want to use you until there's nothing else to use. And then I would ask them, how would you feel if someone said that to you? Yeah, you say that to yourself every single day when you wake up without a plan.
That's it. You are going to, oh my
and
God.
it smacks them.
You're exploiting yourself.
It smacks them in the face, because there's a realization that you are not someone else's victim. You're a victim of your own psychology. Your own psychology, right? Because success is a series of little steps taken in succession over and over again to get to a specific destination that you can only define.
Yeah.
Only you can define success.
Absolutely, Tina.
Because we're designer originals. So I love listening to this conversation, because it just sort of reminds me of what the catalyst was for me. What was the insinuatory moment when I said, well, why can't they succeed?
Yeah.
Why can't they believe?
If they have core values, and if they do the things that make, Mike was talking about some of the things that you just, that makes him a high achiever. Some of the things that you just do a little bit more. But but you have
there's
to
a reason. There's a
people.
trigger.
Yeah.
There's a trigger.
Yeah.
Why did I do a little bit more? Why
Right.
was I raised in the projects by a single mother,
Right.
and the person next door to me was pregnant at 15, the other person next door to me was on crack, and I went to college at 16?
Yeah.
What was the difference? Was that I didn't believe in any limitation in my ability to build.
Right.
My imagination was free. So if we
Love
could
it.
get people to get to that place, that whimsical dreaming moment, like when you're a little kid in the library and your mouth is wide open and, you hear them breathing, they're listening to the story and they're just like,
eyes,
get them back
energy,
there,
completely
to the
there.
dream state again.
Yeah.
Now you can get them back into
There
their
you go.
possibility
There you
moment.
go.
They start to design something new,
Yeah.
right?
That reminds me of what you told me, Mike, when you started out. Or did you tell me that? Did you tell me that? Or did I hear this on another broadcast that you were doing, that, when you got out of the military, you weren't there for very long, so you didn't have really any income, any money to fall back on. So you were just broke. No, I don't know if you said broke, but you didn't really have a lot. So you had to start off and do something. And regardless, like what Tina is saying, regardless of where you came from, you can't allow that to dictate your future. Is that where did you come from? What was your background after you left the military?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, for the record, I was broke. I mean, I was broker than broke. I haven't had a technical 9-to-5 job, steady stream of income like that since I got out of the military in 2007, and I didn't do 20 years, so I didn't get the pension, and there's no residual money benefits that come in every month, so I was just thrown into the jungle, and I needed to make something out of nothing. And it was tough for a while. I mean, listen, when I talk about going through struggle, I mean, going through not even losing the money, flipping the real estate, but while that was going on, the whole bailout process in 2008 happened, and I went through personal foreclosure. The house I bought for $150,000, you couldn't give it away for 50, and that was real.
Yeah.
You know, and you're talking about flipping upside down
Yeah.
100,000, and you know, you got basically no money coming in. You're not really, you know, sure. My skills weren't like they were now, so I mean, you can imagine it's like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
And I just always thought in my head, I said, you know, if he can just endure this, because giving up was never in the cards ever. So I always just thought if I could endure
That
this,
is so important.
just ride it out.
Oh my God, that's important,
That
Tina.
he never considered quit.
He never considered
considered quit. See, now that's like when I'm coaching with a marriage and a business. It's the same conversation.
It is.
Let's remove the word quit.
Yes. Yes. Because that should not be in anyone's vocabulary if they're looking to start a business or be successful.
And
in
the question
any way.
I love to ask a lot of my clients who are in business, not how much money do you want?
Yeah.
It's what did you expect for your business to do for you?
Exactly.
What did you want it to provide for you?
Sure. And why?
And I love what Mike was saying before. I sat down and he said, I wanted to be able to do what I want to do. I can go play 18 holes of golf if I want to. It gave him a personal freedom to be able to be completely in the chooser's seat.
Completely.
In the choosers.
It's his choice, exactly. So tell us, Mike, someone that is just going to be starting off, even almost like you did, but you've had 4 or 5 years under your belt, so you have a lot of experience. You have, you know, a huge team. I don't know, your team is huge. I know you said you had generally brought in at least 150 people on your team, so I know based on that kind of 100% commission, you're just rocking and rolling. But someone that's new coming in to this business, what can they, you know, how can they say, I want to be like Mike? What can they do? What would you say that they have to really prepare for? Of course, we want to say don't quit, but what kind of steps, what kind of process would you recommend to someone that's brand new coming into this business, this internet marketing world?
Well, the first thing, and really the only thing I would tell them to do first and foremost, and until they did it, I wouldn't talk to them again, is to be clear on their intentions and write them down and know them. And until that happens, we're not going to move forward.
Right,
and
the
that's where
vision, make it plain.
That's it. The core values, the vision has to be visible. I love
because
it.
without that, you know why? Because without that, see, a lot of people just say, oh, Mike, just give me the secret. Just give me the solo ad provider. Just set up my pay-per-click account. Just do this, do that. It won't work.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I've done that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've done that with people because I
people.
figured, all right, when I have some money, I'll put $5,000 into this thing and put a couple of thousand into this thing and do this and do that. The results are not the same as someone like Adam Knackers, a guy who I've been coaching, mentoring for years now, has come up on his own. I've seen him grow and I've seen him develop, and it's all because of him. It's really not even because of me. I was there and I was kind of just making sure he wasn't falling over, but even if he fell over, I would just be there to tell him to get up.
Yeah.
And if he got up, then he would do what he wanted to do, and he would be living life like I'm living on my terms. He's living on his own terms. Because if you condition someone to, like, if I'm gonna do everything for everybody, then I'm gonna have a bunch of dependents. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And nobody does. I mean, think we want to be duplicable here, right? We want people to do what we're doing. I mean, I don't want the burden of someone. Let's say you join my team or anybody. I don't want to have the burden of you having 500 people constantly calling you every single day. And you're spending 26 hours a day working. You know, I mean, what kind of lifestyle is that? You have no life if you're working all the time.
You have to be. That's so true. I mean, if someone's always dragging on your coattails, I mean, it's just.
But you know, I think it's a process of a business leader, right? When we all sort of become independent and we make that success, and we come through a hard time, like with 2008 with the crash. Many of us went through that crash.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started in internet marketing as well as multi-level marketing, network marketing, I found my little niche. I found my little mojo of success, and I won't say it was a mistake, but it was definitely a learning experience, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Mike, based on what you just said, was I wanted other people to do it the way and have the same success. So I would buy the leads. I would put them in round robins. I would do co-ops and full magazines, but they kept expecting the same thing over and over.
And they wouldn't do it for themselves.
They wouldn't do it for themselves. I found myself, now my freedom became incarceration again because my phone wouldn't stop ringing. So I quickly learned what Mike is talking about right now. But it's part of a natural evolution. evolution of leadership to understand that freedom is a personal choice and very individual.
It is. It is.
And you know, I think there's a problem with society with what you just said there, because we're conditioned from day one when we're in kindergarten to do something for 8 hours, get a result, do something for 8 hours, get a result. We're not conditioned to think outside of the box. I mean, any kid that's staring out the window for 5 minutes is labeled ADD. I think that's a bunch of nonsense. You know, nobody has ADD. Everybody should be dreaming and thinking about things that they're not doing already.
Yeah.
Either no one or everyone. It's one or the other. Because I'm convinced. I'm like, I don't believe in ADD, but if it is such a thing, I have it, because you're boring the hell out of me right now. Right? I mean, we all went through that. And it's those dreamers. Those dreamers that have something else on their mind. You got to catch them there.
You do, because you know,
not to stop them.
Yeah, but you have to,
so that they have the permission to dream.
Yeah, you have to allow them to choose their destiny. You know, I want to ask you about, you know, there's some of the other kinds of things that you do. I know that there's a new launch coming up that is going to allow probably a much bigger market in internet marketing with mobile blogging. What do you know about that mobile blogging platform, Mike? Did we lose Mike again?
Here.
We're moving towards mobile.
Oh, there he is.
And the reason they're doing that.
Oh, good. We found him back. We lost you for just a second. We lost audio, so we didn't hear your answer to the mobile blogging platform.
All right, yeah. Well, I was just saying, Empower Network is coming out with the Blog Beast, and that is going to focus on a lot of mobile advertising, a lot of mobile blogging, because 9 out of 10 people now are walking around with their smartphone, their iPhone, their Samsung Galaxy or the Nokia thing, whatever that is. But every company now is going towards the phone that can do everything and more, really, that a computer can do. So I think it's totally going to change the game. I mean, having a blog is just, I mean, it's hands down necessary if you're going to really take your branding seriously, not even for an internet or network marketer, but if you're in real estate, maybe you own a barber shop or beauty salon or nail shop or something, get on a blog, let people know in your area on the internet, because everybody, see, what people don't really understand is that even though you own a brick and mortar business, you might own the sub shop up the street, but everybody that lives around in that area has the internet.
Sure.
And who knows? And I guarantee you that they're looking, oh, I need a sub shop in Albany, New York. Well, if you're on your game, you'll be number one. And if you're number one, you're going to get more money, because more people are going to be coming in, buying your product, and then they're going to review it on your blog, and then they're going to share your blog. The thing is going to go around. It's going to get viral, and then everybody on their phone is going to be looking at your shop when they're in the area, because you're number one and because you took your business seriously.
That's right.
Well, what I really love is that you said mobile blogging. You did not say just a mobile site, because a lot of people don't understand the distinction. Is that to have not just a mobile site, a mobile app. Because when you have a mobile app, it's not necessarily searchable. It's not necessarily searchable, and you don't get locally indexed. You wanted the local indexing, like he was talking about the sub shop up the street.
Exactly.
If you have a blog, which is automatically sort of SEO'd because it's exoskeleton, right? Instead of embedded. Now it's crawled. I know that's an old word, but that's what it is. It's crawled, and now it could be actually geo-indexed as a local merchant in local searches. You want that.
You do.
Which app, which most people don't know, if it's an embedded API app inside of, you know,
Your
they're
phone.
cute, they're hot, they're sexy, but they're not necessarily indexable.
This is an entirely new platform, right, Mike? This is something that has never been introduced before.
Totally new, totally
Completely
revolutionary.
new.
It's going to turn the internet on its head.
About
it's going to do some really cool things. And even if people aren't going to want to be affected by it, they are. That's how I know. That's how big it's going to be.
And it's the launch is Friday, so it's not even in the internet world yet. Yeah, so it's so very cool. So, you know, we're going to come right back, but when we come back, I want to ask you about, you know, some things that I know that as you start progressing and as you get really successful in what you do, sometimes there are bumps along the way. And we're going to talk about some of those bumps when we get back. We'll be right back. You're listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio Network, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Diana Price, and you are listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio Network. Thanks for joining us today. We have super achiever internet marketer Mike Grady, my mentor in internet marketing. I got to tell you, he set me straight, and we are so happy to have you here with us today, Mike. Just before the break, we talked about bumps in the road, and some things happen. No matter how successful you are, sometimes you take 5 steps forward, and sometimes you just fall over and you go 10 steps backwards. No matter how persistent you've been, have you experienced some of those bumps in the road?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you right now that no matter how successful you get, every morning when you wake up, Mr. or Mrs. Resistance is going to be there waiting for you. So if you're not on top of your game, the resistance will take you down.
Yes.
And there's easy ways to make sure the resistance doesn't do that. And that's keeping up on your personal development.
Yeah.
Maybe it's listening to audios by Jim Rohn or Robert Kiyosaki or I mean just go to YouTube and type in personal development or Jim Rohn and you'll get thousands of videos that have been uploaded there. And Jim Rohn recommended personal development like he recommends bathing. He said they work the same way.
Really?
And if you don't do it every day, it kind of doesn't work. I mean, if you bathe once and then you wait 30 days, no one's going to even know that you bathed.
That's right.
Right? Well, the same thing applies to personal development. You got to do it every day. And I still do it every day. The Art Williams Just Do It speech, I watch it at least once a month. I'm always listening to Jim Rohn, Robert Kiyosaki, anything that can get my mind in tune, because I'm telling you, the forces of evil are real and they're out there. And people need to make sure that they're aware of them and they can identify them. There's a spider web of evil in the world, and you got to know where to cut the web and where to avoid it, how not to get into it, and all that kind of stuff. If you're not paying attention, you will trip up, and you will be a victim of your own just ignorance.
Yeah, it's so easy to do, and that's where people just tend to go, okay, I'm done. They get frustrated, and so when you have those kind of resistance and the procrastination, all those kinds of traits that come in, if you have a plan, if you have a daily activity, and all of a sudden, you're getting frustrated, you're getting, your emotions are overcoming you, and you're thinking, okay, I know that, maybe because sometimes you're not consistent with what you do, and all of this just starts to rattle, and it just kind of falls apart. So, emotions and frustrations, I think, are something that we all go through, and the readings and the things like that. But are there like daily things that you do, Mike, to really keep your bootstraps on and keep your feet planted and do the things you do and motivate your team? What things do you do every day to kind of stay out of that mode?
Well, I remember what George Zalaki taught me in one of his audios. I can't remember the exact audio, but he said commitment is doing what you said you were going to do even after the feeling that you said it in has passed.
I like
because
that.
It's going to pass.
I like
right?
that.
And you have to remember, any time that you feel like what you're doing isn't working, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remember the second that you made the decision that you were going to change your life for the better, and just wait for it to come back, because in an instant you can change your way of thinking. In an instant you can change the direction of everything that's going. In an instant you can make your life great from good, or bad to great, or great to bad, whatever. It works both ways too.
Yes,
in an instant you can screw up your whole life. It just doesn't work for the good, it works for the bad. So you got to be really in tune with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever get people on your team, or have you ever, because right now I know that you are the kind of leader that allows your team to be completely independent. Is that true? You show them what to do and you let them go. Would that be a fair assessment of your leadership style? What do you think your leadership style is?
Yeah, I would say that's right. But as I'm doing that, I'm creating the best tools and services for them to use, so there's just no excuse.
Okay.
I work
I hear you.
Closely with a couple of buddies of mine, Vincent Webb and Eric Sharp, and they created the most badass advertising thing I've ever seen in my life. It's called Simple to Advertise. And our team is plugged into that, and it's basically traffic on demand. If you got a marketing budget and you want to do paid advertising, I tell people, get in here. We have something called the Traffic Fire Hose. Put $250 a week into the thing, which will generate you, I think it's like 12 or 1,300 clicks to your website, and with the training on how to properly follow up with your list the right way, which Empower and Prosperity, they all teach, and all leaders pretty much right now understand how to get email conversions higher and all that stuff. With all the right tools, people can't lose. Like I was talking about before, the only reason people wouldn't even do that is just because of their own limiting belief that they won't even do it to see if it even does work, even though they're looking at testimonials where people are saying, oh, I got another sign up, I got another sign up, the service is great, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it just goes down the list. Even though people will read all that, some people still won't pull the trigger. But unfortunately, I mean, I'm not a miracle worker. Last time I tried to walk on water, it didn't work too well.
Yeah, you weren't out there with Jesus walking on that water. It didn't work too well.
That's a horse of a different color. I'm a mortal man.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that the simple advertising is amazing because I do that too, and it's just amazing to start out, because we were talking earlier about when you start out, you have nothing, you don't know what to do, and you're thinking, okay, now I know that I need to do all of these things, but how do I get started? How do I do all these things? So, you have to blog, you have to say something about your business every day. You got to, let people get eyeballs on your blog, and then you have to syndicate the thing. Give us that rundown. What are the kind of things that are consistently needed and, to really make money, and fast money? Well, I don't want to say fast money, because nothing, it all depends on your effort, and what you put into it is what you will get out of it, for sure.
Sure, and money can come quicker than. I mean, it doesn't have to be slow. It doesn't have to take 4+ or 5 years to do it. The reason we created all these tools and services was to cut the learning curve, which is possible. Not everybody has to go through foreclosure. You know what I mean? Does it happen? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, are a lot of success stories of people who came from troubled times and all that kind of stuff? Sure, but it is not necessary to go through that if someone sees the light early. Right. So I would tell people the daily plan of action is email your list daily, at least once a day. You should be maybe emailing it 2 or 3 times a day, and don't just be emailing it with your link and tell me join here, join there. Yeah, you want to throw those in the mix, but you want to be given value. If you, for example, like if I watch a Jim Rohn video and I get a lot of value from it, I'll send that video to my list and say, take 5 minutes out of your day and listen to Jim Rohn talk about why you should never quit or something like that. And it gives the list value, and then your list will know that you care. Yes. And that it's not just about selling stuff. Yes. And then when they know you care, it doesn't even matter what you're selling. They'll buy whatever you're selling anyway.
Right. Absolutely. So correct. So what are some of the creative ways that, there's a lot of folks that are really familiar with internet marketing that they could really grow their business quickly. I know the simple to advertise, not specifics, but the simple to advertise is something that I absolutely love, because it's a no-brainer for me. It just makes me, go in and I do my blog, and I syndicate it, and then I do my advertising. I don't have to go look for this one and that one and see I just do it. It's so amazing. It's awesome. Thank you for that, Mike. Thank you for that. It's so cool. But others, what other kinds of things in affiliate marketing? Because this is really what this is. It's affiliate marketing. Is that correct? It's really being an affiliate, right? So explain the concept of affiliate marketing and how that can lead to capturing traffic and sales.
Well, affiliate marketing kind of works the same as network marketing. I mean, you're really not focused on building a team with a lot of leverage and a lot of sales going out through your team. You're kind of it's more linear. You're just one level, and you're just trying to sell products to people who want what you're selling. So it's like, with affiliate products, I know people who sell affiliate products that on ClickBank that are golf instruction manuals, and then there's affiliate products on, how to dominate Craigslist, and then there's there's a million different affiliate products on ClickBank. Yeah. But the key is the traffic, sending the traffic to all that stuff. Yeah. And I mean, if it's a good offer too. I mean, if it's not a good offer and it won't convert and it's low, it just won't. But the biggest tip I can give someone that's already in internet marketing, that's been doing things, is to understand the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki, that's his second book after he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. more specifically the right side of the quadrant where the big business owners and the investors are. And the only difference between the left-hand side of the quadrant and the right-hand side of the quadrant is the principle of leverage. The people on the right-hand side leverage or value time, because leverage creates time. The people on the left-hand side want to do everything themselves, and as a result, they're working 12, 15-hour days, and they don't have time to do anything other than work.
Yeah.
So my advice to people that are in internet marketing or any kind of business, really understand the principles of leverage and start outsourcing things that you're not good at or don't want to do.
Fabulous.
For example, like the technical things about blogging, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know any. I'm not saying I don't know anything about it, but I am not an expert when it comes to blogging. But I do have people on my team who are, right? Like I'm not an
So they
expert.
blog for you, or do you hire someone to write your articles?
Yeah. You can hire somebody to write your articles. You can go to Fiverr.com.
Absolutely.
Go to Fiverr.com or go to Elance.com or go to Odesk.com. Those are great outsourcing places where people that want to work and that have specific skills like writing and all that kind of stuff and know how to do search engine optimization. They're experts that are there that are waiting to get paid by you to serve you.
Yeah.
So it's not always about you having to be the expert in everything. You just have to know where to get the experts, how to get the experts around you, and how to get them to flow. See, as a big entrepreneur, your job description is problem solver. No matter what you're doing, whether you bought a 20-unit apartment building, whether you're going to landscaping business, whether you're doing internet marketing, your objective is to solve problems. And the way to do that is to get really good people around you. That's Donald Trump's philosophy. He gets the best people around him. If he needs an apartment or a condo decorated, he gets his best interior designer to go in there and write the whole thing out and then stock it full of all the good stuff that's going to get that condo to sell quickly. And then he pays that person a very good sum of money to do that, and it's worth it to put the money out there. And as you're doing that, this is another thing I'll tell you. As you're doing that, a lot of people overlook this. As you're outsourcing, what you're really doing is creating jobs. Right? It's not about the government creating jobs. Government don't create jobs. People create jobs.
Absolutely.
So people got to put on their thinking caps and start outsourcing more.
Jobs.
Maybe when you start and you don't have money, you can't outsource. But when you start getting a little bit of money, you need to start allocating your funds to different areas that can speed up the process while you're focusing on what? Income producing activities.
That's right. People buy solutions to their problems, and we can help them with that. And as you said, that creates jobs, because it is just, I mean, you couldn't have made that more succinct. I mean, it is so true, because when I started out, my whole background is corporate America, and like you said, that 9 to 5 was, it is what it is. It's a job. It's a just over broke. So you can be just over broke, doing your own thing and making all of these amazing connections, and like you said, being in the room where people know what they're doing and know a lot more than you do, so they can teach you what to do. And it's so true.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's about being humble too, because a lot of people's problems that I've seen is not being humble enough to admit that someone else knows more than they do. And I'm fine with that. If I'm talking to someone and they know more about it, believe me, I'll shut my mouth and now I'm all ears.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not about me trying to prove
anything.
About boosting my ego up. Oh, I know this, I know that. I'll tell you what I know, but if I don't, I'm not going to make something up. So it's all about really checking the ego at the door if you want to be a real good team member.
That's right.
It's all about the team, and the team is like if you look at a successful football team, baseball team, any team in business that wins, there's a great leader there that is not an egomaniac and is all about people doing the best that they possibly can with the help of that leader.
Precisely. I tell people that, that I recruit to be on my team, I said, if you can't come from a place of help, service, and help others, like you said, that was one quality that I have always had in my life. I think you said service before self was one of the 3 core values that they taught you in the military. If you can't come from a place of service and helping people, why are you doing it? I don't even want you on my team, because it's not compatible. The culture, all of a sudden, it's going in the wrong direction, and that is not what we're all about. So tell us about some of the other strategies you're using to drive traffic, some of the other companies that you're involved in, because once you get your hands onto internet marketing and into especially the platform that both of us are in Empower Network, which is just revolutionizing blogging. I mean, I've never seen so many different things that you can do with blogging. I mean, you can syndicate it. You can run this stupid thing as a business. You can do nothing but blogging and make so much money. So tell us about a little bit more about some of the other things that you're doing, to affiliate, to drive traffic, to really build your empire as a super achiever in internet marketing.
Well, I've mentioned the advertising stuff that I do, but I'll switch and tell you something else that I still do, and I recommend everybody do this, and this is what really will help you build your, like you said, build your empire, and that's networking. And networking only costs time, and Facebook is a great place to do that. I said on I believe it was an interview I did yesterday that I still network every single day, because when I first started out, when I didn't have any money, that was my only option, really. I did networking on Facebook. I posted ads on Craigslist. I went to Backpage.com. And I found this one site. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like 500 different free classified sites you could post ads on, and I would literally spend 12 hours a day, sometimes more, posting different ads. But the networking is what really separated everything, because I ran into the best people I've ever met in my life just by doing networking and not just pitching people on my business. So when I say networking on Facebook, it's not about just send a friend request and then send a link, send a friend request, send a link. If you do that, number one, you're probably going to get banned because someone's going to report you.
Got it.
Right? But number two, you're not going to position yourself as someone who knows what they're talking about. You're going to seem desperate.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to work with anybody that's desperate. I mean, I don't even want to be around somebody that's desperate.
I know I don't.
So,
I sure
right.
Don't.
So when you're talking to them, you say something simple. Hey, I just saw you. Like you go into Robert Kiyosaki's fan page or your Jim Rohn's fan page, and there's hundreds of thousands. There's plenty of people there, and you find them that are commenting. Like Robert Kiyosaki will put a post on, you'll see there'll be 5,000 comments, and all you do is send a friend request to those people and say, hey, I saw you commenting on Robert Kiyosaki's post. I just want to let you know I really enjoy his books too. You know, are you actually reading one of his books right now?
Nice.
You say something like that. Always ask a question. You know, always try to find out. Always be searching for information, because not everybody that you're going to send a friend request to, and a lot of people get hung up on this too. They'll send friend requests and messages to 5 people, nobody answers, and they say, oh, that strategy doesn't work. Yeah. It's like, well, you send it to 5 people. How about 500 or 5,000? Like, well, where's the limitation here? Yeah, right? And like we were talking about before, the only limitation people are going to have on their action taking is a limitation that they're putting on themselves, just because it's within them that they don't actually believe in what they're doing because their intentions aren't clear.
Limiting beliefs.
But if your intentions are clear, you'll spend as much time as it takes. And it's another thing I tell people. They'll ask me, so they'll say, Mike, how long does it take to get to where you are? And I say, however long it takes. That's the answer. How much money does it take to do paid advertising the right way? I said, however much it takes. There's no certain answer to it. It's however long it takes to do it. If you really want to do it, like I was telling you before, quitting was never even an option for me. So that's how I always thought. Even before I knew that and I was taught that, I always just thought that it's just I'm just going to do this until I'm successful. I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe I'll be 50 when it happens. Luckily, it happened a couple of years after I started doing it. And I've noticed that's kind of like the norm. I mean, some people come out and knock the cover off the ball in the first 30 days or a couple of months or whatever. But a couple of people, it might take a couple of years to get used to things. I mean, anything that's going to end up paying you, 50, 100,000 a month, maybe beyond. I mean, if you can struggle for a couple of years doing it, I would say that's worth it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would completely agree with you. So, some people that hear about the opportunities, the amount of money you can make in internet marketing, they come in and I think they pursue it for the wrong reasons. What kind of recommendations can you give people that really are just in it, like you said, and they're commenting in the wrong ways, and they're linking, and they're just doing it all the wrong way, and they're in it for the wrong reason? I don't have anybody like that on my team, and I'm sure you don't either, but there are those people out there. And what do we do with those kinds of people, Mike?
Well, if you happen to talk to them, I would just tell them just to stop. Say, stop doing that because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you can be frank with that. I'm frank with people when I talk to them a lot of the times on there. You have to be honest. It's not about not offending people and all that kind of crap. Everybody just doesn't want to offend everybody nowadays for some kind of reason. And look at the state of the world, because nobody wants to offend anybody. It's in chaos,
It's
right?
in chaos.
Everybody should be offending somebody every day. That should be the new campaign slogan. Offend at least one person every day, and everything will change. But,
I like that. But constructively offending them, right?
Yeah, constructively. But if someone's doing that, you say, listen, I don't want to, I'm not trying to be mean, but just this strategy you're using, this obviously doesn't work. And I'm not going to get into a long debate over you with it, because I've been doing this over 4 years, and your strategy of just posting a link right there, that's not working. I know you don't have to tell me it's not working. I know it's not working.
Yeah.
So please just stop doing that.
Yeah.
You say something like that, or you can offer to help them. Say, listen, here's a course on Facebook training. If you have a course on Facebook training, and it's
good
an affiliate
idea.
deal, here's a course to Facebook training. You pay $30 or whatever the course is, and learn how to do it the right way from experts that are making 5 figures a month or whatever it is. Because usually the trainings that you're seeing are from people who are making the big money. That's what we talked about earlier too. If they're making the big money, pay the money. So don't have a problem paying. That's another problem I see out there. People have problems paying money for training. They think they can do it all themselves. Well, I got news for you.
Yeah.
You can't do it yourself. You need to learn how to do this the right way.
Yeah.
Actually, let me backtrack. I'm not saying you can't do it yourself, but let's look at it logically. If I've already, like Craigslist training, I haven't done this, I'm just using it for instance. If I've mastered Craigslist training on how to get 100 leads a day off of Facebook, and I sell the product for $50, well, don't you think it's worth $50 to at least see what I'm talking about if I've showed you the results? Or do you want to just do it yourself and get ghosted by 5 different accounts and get the thing shut down and get all frustrated? I mean, what's your time really worth?
Right, exactly.
Remember when I talked about time and money? What's time really worth for you? I mean, I've spent... I can't even tell you how much more. I've probably spent $30,000, maybe a little bit more, on just training products when I was first coming up. From Jeffrey Combs, he's a great guy. Check out his products. He's got a lot of great products. Jeffrey Combs has great products. Cedric Harris has great products. David Wood, always. I mean, he's the co-founder of Empower Network. A lot of people know him. But there's a lot of products out there that are very valuable, and people don't be cheap when it comes to buying these. Just put up the money because it's real information. It's not, these people aren't trying to scam you. They're putting out valuable information because they went through what you're trying to go through. So if you put up a little bit of money, you can save yourself what's more valuable, and that's time. I hope everybody can understand
Absolutely. Jeffrey Cohn, how do you spell his last name?
Combs.
Okay, Combs. And I've got an awesome engineer. Mark is just taking notes like crazy. He says, now what about the other two? He says, what about the other ones? He says, Jeffrey Cohn, Cedric Harris, and David Wood. Yes, absolutely. Right. So this is so exciting. I'm loving this. You are giving so much content. That is one of the things you told people to do. You can't just get out there. You have to give them value. What, in your view, is the future of internet marketing and absolutely the future of business in general? What's your prospects on that? I mean, you got to be out there in the thick of things. So tell us what you think.
Yeah, the future is definitely the internet. If you own a business, find a way to get it on the internet. I don't care whether it's just getting a Twitter channel or a Facebook fan page, or do something on the internet, because that's where it's all going. Everybody knows. I mean, look, right now, every bill I've paid, for the last, I can't even tell you how many years, I haven't bought a stamp in like 5 years.
Yeah, I get that. I haven't
know why I haven't bought a stamp is because I don't require the offline methods to pay bills anymore, because it's all on the internet, and it saves a lot of time. A lot of the bills I don't even have to pay. They're just automatically taken out of the account every single month. I mean, the technology has freed up so much time. It's ridiculous, and everybody needs to be taking advantage of it. Okay, everybody, not just people. Even if you don't have a business, start using the internet to get your news. There's the news is up to date to the second on the internet. When you get your newspaper in the morning, that is old news. It is.
It is. It is.
The news you're watching on TV at 6 o'clock locally is old news, because as they're talking about their story that they worked on for the last few hours, there's new developments in the story, and websites will have that up-to-date information as it's coming in live. So just the amount of access, the amount of information that the internet has, it's like having anybody who has an internet connection has the entire library of the planet in their room or living room or basement, wherever their computer is. Everything is there.
Yeah.
I tell people, if you have a question, don't ask me. Ask Google. Google will tell you exactly what you need.
Exactly
Google knows more than I've yet to meet the person that's smarter than Google, because that's all the information.
That's it. That's it.
You know, if you have an issue like with your sponsor, let's talk more about like network marketing, internet marketing. A lot of people have questions like setting up email autoresponders, like if you're using like GVO or Aweber or one of those. They'll say, well, Mike, how do I send broadcast messages in GVO? I said, well, that's a great question. I'm sure if you typed it into Google, you'd have the answer in about a half a second.
There you go.
I said, always go to Google or YouTube first before you come to me, because like I said, YouTube and Google are smarter than me. I'm not smarter than them. I learn from them every day. I'm always typing stuff into Google that I want to know.
Absolutely. This is so cool. We could talk to you all day, Mike. We could talk to you all day. Tina had to leave, but she says, thank you so much for all of the great information. And I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you coming on and you giving our listeners so much value about your knowledge and your super achiever status and how to get there and what to do and, you know, some of the steps. So I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, Mike, and thank you for being such a great mentor, and thank you for sharing and caring and helping. You're just such an awesome, awesome individual. So we've been talking to Mike Grady. Mike, you want to let our folks know anything else about how to reach you, about Empower Net, or anything at last minute, because we're just about to sign off?
Well, my personal email address, if anybody wants to reach out to me, is mike.a.grady@gmail.com.
Okay.
And as for a website, I just started to open up another stream of cash flow with a great system that I just started to use, and it's not really from the BizOp point of view. There kind of is a business opportunity intertwined with it, but in short, it has to do with buying and selling products on the internet without even having to have the product, and the system is generated around that by using Amazon and eBay and different kinds of retail outlets to sell products. And if people want information on that, and it'd be great if you need extra money, it won't conflict with anything you're doing. If you need extra money for marketing or paid advertising or anything that you want to do, if you're looking for money to do anything, just go to doauctionsmakemoney.com.
Okay.
doauctionsmakemoney.com.
Got it.
And Diane, I want to thank you personally for inviting me on here. It was a blast. I can't believe it's already been an hour.
I know.
I'd love to do another hour. You know, maybe some other time we'll get back on again.
Yes, we'll have you back.
We'll cover some other different topics. Whatever we can do to help people. I'm definitely down for that.
Well, we'll bring you back, and I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you think you'll have a phone by that time on your? I mean, a photograph on your Skype so we can see you? I would love to.
I thought I did have a photograph on Skype.
Well, I mean, actually, you have a photograph. A camera,
yeah,
a webcam,
you know,
a webcam.
I should just go out and buy one. So I'll probably just do that.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm just kidding you, Mike. I'm just completely kidding. But thank you so much. We're going to sign off. Thank you for joining us today. This is Diana, and you are listening to Diana's Spicy Business Talk Radio Network. We'll see you next week. Have a blasted week. Take care.